Stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
Money's coming to me.
Our bond market is tethered to the $16 trillion of negative yielding debt. Your best bet is still in the equity market. And so even with a taper, and even if we decouple rate hikes from the taper, we still have a very, very, very long way to go here.
What is she nuts? We're not going to taper. That's a bold-faced lie. We can't afford to taper. How many times we said that the debt is too high? Welcome to Phil's Gang, coast to coast around the country, off the Wall Street Radio Network. My name is Phil Grandy. I'm your host. This is where you get the truth. This is where you get the truth. Some weekend. You think the Biden administration made a colossal mistake in Afghanistan. People are going to make a colossal mistake thinking that the Fed is now going to taper. Taper what? Well, they've been printing $100 billion every month, printing it to make sure interest rates stay at zero for 13 years. As a result of that, our market has gone nuts, gone crazy. Remember, the stock market has been financially engineered ever since we started QE. The market doesn't go up on earnings, doesn't go up on top-line sales, doesn't go up on good management. It goes up on one thing. Keep lowering rates. Keep printing money so that you keep on creating inflation so that the 1 percentile will become very wealthy at the expense of Main Street. Main Street doesn't win on this. And if you think the Federal Reserve is going to turn around and decide to raise rates back to normal, say 5%, not going to happen. Not going to happen. It'd be insane. Excuse me. And I'll tell you why in a moment. But first, did you see what happened with the banks last week and the week before? I kept warning you to move your money out of the big tech into the banks because the banks were going to move. And they did. We had a big move in our banks, and we knew that was going to happen because we saw the yields coming down. We saw the yields starting to move up, and when the yields move up, that's terrible for big tech. That's terrible. Big tech want low yields. That's why, since for the past 13 years, but specifically since 2013, why the S&P has gone crazy, because we have 6 big tech stocks, the biggest, the ones that everybody knows. The FANG stocks include Microsoft and Apple outside the FANG, but about 5-6 stocks drive this whole market up by just keeping interest rates low, and they keep printing money, and they buy bonds every month to keep rates low for 13 years. That's what drove this market. As a result, to say we're going to lower rates, that's like going to a heroin addict who's been on heroin for 13 years, and he says, I'm going to stop tonight. This is my last shoot up. This is it. I'm going to stop tonight. What are you, nuts? You can't raise rates. And that's why the biggest mistake is people are looking at gold and saying, I don't want any gold because they're going to raise rates. What a fantastic opportunity that is, and people don't see it. They believe the fake business news network that they're going to taper. How many times did I tell you with Biden? Matter of fact, I played the cuts last week on Biden. I don't think I have them racked here now, but I'll get them racked up. Where where Biden, he tried to do the same thing. Remember, he tried to taper. He said, I'm going to taper because the economy's coming back. We have a strong economy. And then he couldn't taper because he had too much debt. That was back in 2008, 2010, 2012. He couldn't taper. Yeah, Bernanke couldn't taper. He told us he was going to taper. Things were getting better. And why couldn't he taper? Because he had too much debt. You can't keep printing this money. Look, for 6 years, okay, we've had no rate hikes leading up to that 2018. None. Then Powell raised rates, remember? 4 times in 4 meetings. He got to 2.5%. He had to stop. He had to bring him all the way back down. Because not only did the stock market roll over, but the economy rolled over. He stopped dead. Which identifies they can't raise rates now, today. Things are worse. How are you going to go back to normal, 5%? When you have, think about the inflation we've had. Let's put this in perspective. In 2008, we had a national debt of $10 trillion. Very shortly, we're going to have a national debt of $30 trillion. Can you imagine paying 5% interest on $30 trillion annually? How are they going to do that? Oh, sure, they just borrow money and print it. But that's what, $1.5 trillion. We'd be in a depression. Don't listen to these people that are telling you they're going to taper. If they want to put us into a depression, sure. Look, they screwed up by keeping interest rates too low for too long. This is the consequence right here. This is the consequence for keeping interest rates too low for too long for one purpose only, 2 purposes, is to make the 1% much wealthier than they already were and to pay their debt down, to pay down the debt of the United States. The only way they can get their debt down, whether it's the $28 trillion now or the $30 trillion soon, is through inflation. Through inflation. They're doing this on purpose. They want a ton of inflation. And they know they're going to screw Main Street. But if they have inflation, here's what they know. They can get the debt down. Because by destroying the value of the dollar, I've told you this 100 times, when you destroy the value of the dollar through inflation, then they don't owe as much money to China. If they owe China $1 trillion, dollar goes down 20%. They say to China, well, we don't owe you $1 trillion. We owe you $800 billion. Goes down again. Oh, we don't owe you $800 billion. We owe you $600 billion. Oh, we don't owe you. That's how they're planning to get rid of the debt. That's why they don't care. Right now, the whole deal for the past 13 years was to keep making the rich richer. Because the rich control. They control. And here's Bernanke. He tried to do the same thing, and he couldn't do it.
If we see continued improvement and we have confidence that that is going to be sustained, then we could, in the next few meetings, we could take a step down in our...
Yeah, that's what he said, remember? That's what Powell's saying, the same exact thing from the same playbook. What are you, nuts? But what happened to Bernanke?
Chairman Bernanke had to go in a conference in Boston and say, no, we're not tapering.
That's right. Why? Because if you bring rates back to normal, are you kidding me? It's impossible. You'll go bankrupt. But we were talking $10 trillion in 2008. And think about $10 trillion compared to $30 trillion at 5%. That's $1.5 trillion. Can't do it. So what they're going to do is not bring rates down. They're going to continue as hard as they can to keep printing as much money, keep interest rates as low as they can, so they keep on trying to drive this inflation up, which pushes up the stock market. How far? I'll explain when I get back. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Back to Phil's Gang. Remember, join my gang free for 10 days. And you get the color-coded chart. You don't have to ask anybody, what do you think the market's going to do? It tells you. And I'm giving it to you for 10 days to prove it to you. It tells you when to buy, when to add to your position, when not to add to your position. It tells you when to sell your stocks. And better yet, it sets you up so when your stock is going down or the entire market, you're set up to make money on the way down. After 10 days, you'll believe it. It's color-coded technology. It's patented. Nobody else has it. And it follows the money. And that's what investing is all about. Don't follow the noise from the fake business news networks. Look, the people on fake business news network, they're happy they're driving down gold prices because they're going to make a fortune on gold. See, you're going to keep hearing from the fake business news network, this is a stock picker's market. Stock pickers. No, it's not. If it was a stock picker's market, we would have made on Wells Fargo 16% or 12% on Morgan Stanley or 7% on JP Morgan or 8% on Bank of America and the rest of the banks. We weren't following the individual stocks. You got to follow the sectors now, not the stocks. It's not an individual stock anymore. It's the sectors. Now, everybody's been in big tech. That's where they always go. But big tech is not doing well. Even when yields are low. I mean, the only two stocks, if you look at, again today, I told my members on Wednesday and Thursday, last week, I think it was Wednesday, and I said, look, as far as buying Microsoft and Apple, those are called tourist stocks. That means people who buy those stocks, they don't even look at a yield. They don't know a yield from a banana peel. They don't know what a yield is. They would buy Microsoft if yields were back to, let's say, let's say back to 172 basis points. They still buy them. They have no understanding at 172 basis points. You don't buy big tech. You buy big tech when it's like down to 118 basis points or 100 or better, 85 basis points. They don't know. All they hear from the fake business news network, buy on the pullback, buy on the pullback, buy on the pullback. What are you, nuts? So we purchased some Apple. We did what we call a scout, just do a minimum amount of shares. We did that on Friday. It's up a little bit today, and so isn't Microsoft. Microsoft's up a little. So we're in both these stocks, but we got to be very cautious. But we'll be fine because all we do is switch on. If you have your mobile device, you can see this. You just go and switch on. We have what we call our yellow warning, okay? And I'll click that on, and what it'll do, it'll turn yellow to tell me if, what it is actually a call to action warning, okay? So I click on my call to action, which is just, will turn my candlesticks yellow, which will warn me that if and if you can see this, if you have a mobile device, you can see it right here, and a little bit of it's yellow right now. It'll tell you that money is coming out. And so we also have Apple, same thing, and we're watching that as well. So even though Apple went up today, we got to stop in, so we make sure we don't lose much money if it pulls back. But I don't trust either Microsoft or Apple, but I don't have to trust them. We can be momentum players. Play the momentum. What's that mean? You play the volume. Just play the volume. And if you got all these people from Robinhood going into these two tourist stocks, fine. Let's ride it. Then we'll say, here, we'll get out before they do. We'll say, here's ours. Take ours. You can have ours. But to get into these tech stocks thinking you're going to make a fortune, you're out of your mind. Yields today, remember, yields went all the way from last week from 135 basis points down to 122 again today. Then back up to 1.25. So they don't know whether to go from banks to the big tech. They don't know which ones to be in. Well, we do, because our color-coded chart will tell us which ones to be in. So again, listen, we're in a situation right now, as I said, they can't raise rates. So you got to watch your gold. Now remember, everybody's been down on gold for one reason. Because the fake business news networks tell you every day, don't buy gold. Because they're going to raise yields. They're going to raise rates. They're not going to keep taking, they're going to not drop rates anymore. They're going to turn around and raise rates. Well, they can't. How can you look, how the hell are you going to raise rates when the national debt has increased 30% in 2 years? Take from 2008 to now. 2008, we were only at 10 trillion. We're going to be at 30 trillion pretty soon. 86 trillion. Our economy has an our economy is loaded with debt. 80 trillion. Don't anybody get this? Every child that's born today in a hospital, as soon as it pops out, the government's going to be there to give them a bill for $750,000. That's their share. That's what they owe. It's no joke. And the S&P is trading at double what it should be. 30 times net income. Valuations are insane. Valuations of stocks mean market cap, how big these companies should be. They should be 50% the size of the economy, but they're 209%. Do you understand what that means? This is insane. PE ratios should be at 15. They're at 37. Our debt before QE was rising 15% faster than our economy. Now it's 60% faster than our economy. Debt before QE was rising 3% faster than wages. Now it's 35% faster than wages. Our debt is 370% of GDP. For every $1 we used to invest in GDP, we'd get back $4. You know what we get back now? Zero. Know why? Inflation. And you know who wants this inflation? Our government. Our government loves this inflation. And they're sacrificing you on Main Street. And that's why you've got to get in the market. It's the only place you're going to make money to combat this inflation. More when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grain at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. It tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
Inflation is not transitory unless you define transitory as 2 to 3 years, which then makes it a meaningless concept.
You know, when we keep hearing how, don't worry about inflation, it's going to go away. Inflation doesn't go away when you're printing massive amount of money. And just like today, the market was negative. And I told my members that the market was, that they have the plunger team. That's the President's Council on Markets. They always get together every morning and decide where they're going to put the market. They're going to move it up, move it down. That's right. That's the truth. Because remember, the stock market is no longer connected to earnings, to profits. It doesn't connect anymore. Those days are gone. People don't realize that. They really think the stock market is something honest. And they think it's something that, you know, everybody's looking out for your interest. Not true. It does not reflect the health of the economy. I tell people that 100 times, but they won't listen. Just like they won't listen with 401ks. You can go into the spiders. You'll make more money in the spiders than you ever would in a 401k. I say that every day, but no one's going to do it because they're tied. This was a stroke of genius what they did. When they came up with the idea, first of all, remember the 401k is garbage. That's why they had to give you this match. And it's not a real match. You don't get matched. I ran a public company. I know how it works. They readjust everything. So that you think a company's going to match you? Do you think when someone hires you, you think the CEO, who's the greediest guy on earth, the CEO who's taking all the profits from the company, he's not plowing it back into the company for new machinery, equipment, so you can produce more, so your wages will increase, so your standard of living would increase, so the economy would grow. That's what he's supposed to be doing. You think he cares about that, or do you think he cares about himself and the biggest shareholders? That's who he cares about. And that's all they care about. So as an investor, myself, that's fine. That's okay. We'll just follow momentum. As long as you know when to get in and when to get out and when to sell short. And it's easy, especially if you join my gang, because every day we have a portfolio, a set portfolio of stocks that my members follow. Or they can have their own if they want. But ours is there, and every day at 2 o'clock we go through each stock and tell our member what to do. There's no guess.
Lowe's continue to hold your scout for a short position, just waiting for this to drop. And
he goes on and explains what to do. Now, how can you go wrong with that? You can't. You can't. You have somebody there holding your hand with tremendous experience. Has anybody ever called you? Has your broker called you? The guy that's running your 401k, has anybody ever got in touch with you? To say, I think we should rearrange this. Let's take you out of this stock. Let's turn around and buy this one. No, of course not. They don't care. They're not there for you. That's not their job. And as far as the economy goes, going back to gold, I am telling you, you're making a huge mistake not being open-minded and watch gold mining stocks. In fact, if you have a mobile device, take a look at AUY. AUY is starting to head back up. I mean, gold's been crushed. Gold stocks have been crushed because everybody, if you go back and take a look at a year, gold stocks have been crushed. If you just take, let's take GLD. That's the spider for gold. If we go back a year, and I'll get a number here for you, the high was around $189, and then it dropped down to about $157. And that's a 17% drop. It's on sale. And now she's gone from the low of, let me give you the low right here. Give you the low. The low was at 158.43, and today it's at 167.27. Because see, they've been able to suppress gold, and they want to suppress gold for a couple reasons. See, by suppressing gold, it tells all our lenders, the Saudis who lend us money, okay, the Japanese, but mostly the Chinese, when gold's suppressed, it shows our economy's doing well. When gold goes up, oh God, they get so crazy at the Federal Reserve when gold starts going up, because that shows that we're not doing well. So they're going to do everything to punch that gold down. They don't want gold going up because it would show that they're mismanaging the economy. So they do whatever they can to push that down. And what they've been doing as of late is pounding on that they're going to taper back that $125 billion a month, and they can't because they can't afford to. We can't. This economy at $30 trillion, paying $1.5 trillion in interest a year, we'd be in a depression. And let's put that aside. Let's say we could even do that. Let's say we could afford it. Remember what the government does. Their debt, they keep piling on debt. 30%. Our debt went up 30% 2 years. You'd say, well, shouldn't somebody care? No, they want more debt because it creates inflation. So they keep on printing money, right, to keep interest rates low so that we don't pay a higher interest rate on our debt. And they love inflation because it pays down their debt that they own to our lenders because it weakens the dollar. And you think anyone cares about you on Main Street? Of course not. Not one of them cares about you. But the banks, the gold stocks, the gold mining stocks, here's the beautiful thing about it. The gold mining stocks, and like I said, it's not a stock picker's market anymore. If you hear that, don't believe it. It's a group You pick a group now, a group of stocks, like we picked the banks and did terrific. We're still in them, but we reduced our position. Now we're looking for another group, and the one that shows up the best is gold mining stocks. Going to have to be patient, but they're on sale. I mean, think about it, on how much they're on sale. We've never seen it like this before. My God. I don't know what the numbers are, but if you, and I'll look it up, but if you bought, let's say you took an ounce of gold and you went to buy a bunch of stock, you would get the least amount of stocks with that ounce of gold, almost, the lowest group of amount of stocks ever. That's how terrible it is. That's what you want to buy when something's being down like that, especially mining stocks. And mining stocks are profitable and they have dividends. And that's when you buy stocks. But think about that for one moment. If you took an ounce of gold, and said, how many shares of stock could I buy? You could buy almost nothing. That's terrible. But that's great to make money. That's what you want. You want to buy stocks that are on sale. Doesn't that make sense to you? Now look what they're doing. Why would they be taking the consumer credit and expanding it? I talked about that last week. They expanded. They're giving people more credit to go out and get more in debt because it's inflation. They want inflation to reduce their debt. And they're doing the same thing with corporations. They're going in and they're buying all the debt from the corporations, called monetization of their debt. The Federal Reserve buys their debt. You think they're going to stop doing that and raise rates? They can't buy their debt if they're going to raise rates. They can't go in and save the banks. This little boom we had in the housing market, the only reason why there's any boom, because these rates were so low, because they were driven down. They were driven down purposely. So they're going to keep those. You think they're going to raise those rates and kill the housing market? No. So watch, join my gang. It's free for 10 days, and we'll do all the work. We'll observe the gold prices, and we have another group that you're going to make a lot of money on too. If you just listen, I'll be right back after this break. Join my gang, philsgang.com. Free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Why pay thousands of dollars for a weekend seminar when for only $39.95 a month, philsgang.com provides all the daily market investing information you need to make profits in the stock market. With over 40 years of investing experience, only Phil Grandy and the philsgang.com team provide daily live investing webinars, up-to-the-minute market updates, all the investing educational videos you can imagine. Don't hesitate to learn, invest, and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
Warning. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days. philsgang.com. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert. It says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night. You don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable.
African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026. Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, boydinvestigativegroup.com.
License number A1900020.
Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grandy. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, so listen to this.
Even if they do start to gently taper, and maybe come October or November, 10 months from now, they'll still be basically buying some of these assets in an economy that's been improving greatly.
First, the economy has been improving greatly, and she's right. They can't. If they're going to be right back buying these because the market will go into a depression. For heaven, I'm not saying that to scare you. Look, you should take advantage. Just understand what the market's doing. Okay, they're printing this money, and they're doing everything they can to create inflation, but they won't tell you that. These gangsters won't tell you that. That's the only way that they can pay this national debt down with inflation. It's the only way corporations pay their debt down with inflation. That's it. So it's all, look at, the stock market is linked to financial engineering. Understand that. It's not linked to profits or earnings. Financial engineering, the printing of money for massive stimulus, 6.5 trillion, a billion a day. That's insane. With an economy that has a historic debt of 80 trillion, that's just the economy. This massive stimulus is killing Main Street, but it's making a lot of folks rich in the stock market. And all you've had to do is be in the market with us and ride the momentum, and every day we tell you exactly what to do with each stock in the portfolio. So the stock buybacks that they always do, they do that to artificially boost earnings because they can't boost earnings on real profits because there's very few profits. Very few companies have profits. Why? Because they don't plow their money back into their business. They're plowing their money back into stock buybacks. So the CEOs and the largest shareholders become incredibly wealthy. And when you stop plowing money back into your company, that means that your company doesn't benefit, the people don't benefit, the workers don't benefit, the country doesn't benefit, and you have this artificial rally. And if anything, they'll keep the rally going. The only way this rally is going to stop, as I told you over and over, is when the folks sit down to pay their bills at the end of the month, and they're going to look at each other and say, God, there's one thing we can't pay. We got to make a decision. Do we pay our house payment or do we pay our credit card? Which one do we pay? Or the student loan? Which one do we not pay? And the reason we haven't reached that point is because they just increased the credit from like 28 trillion to 35, 37 trillion or billion. Keep getting everything billions and trillions. What difference does it make? They increased it so that people don't have to make that decision. And they just keep pushing the market up. So why aren't you in the market? Follow this momentum. Look what you missed out. I told you just with the banks. I told you, would you join the gang and follow me with the banks? And within, a week, we're up 8% on one stock, 6, 12, 16, 5%. And here's the nice thing about it. We're not going to lose that profit. We're not going to lose that profit. We've already taken some of it. We locked it in. We put our stops in. And here's the beautiful thing. If they turn and go back down because now they're going to take and artificially, or they're going to manipulate, let's say, the yields again, and let's say they push the yields back down to 118, and so the bank stocks start dropping further, then we're going to just make money shorting them. Don't you want to be in that position? So these valuations are just insane. Look, the Fed has to stop increasing the money supply. We know that. But they can't. They can't. Because they know if they stop the money supply, look, here's what they know. If they keep going on in what they're doing, the rich are going to get richer. Very rich, very wealthy. And Main Street, they're not going to be able to recover. They won't recover for years. 2008 crash was nothing. But they don't care about that, nor does our Congress. People in Congress, do you think they really care? You think Pelosi cares about you? All this debt they're putting on. You really think she sits down? Or anybody in the Congress? I'm not saying there's a lot of good guys in Congress. I get that. But they're a minority. But the majority who got the power, they're a bunch of gangsters. How could Pelosi go from a net worth of $40 million to $100 million in less than 10 months? Because she had inside information on Microsoft, and her husband bought a gazillion shares of Microsoft. But look, just remember, all this financial engineering is a benefit. Don't look at it as something negative if you know what you're doing. What does that mean? Well, when you have financial engineering, it's a lot easier to invest in stocks than when you don't. When you have a pure market, do you realize what you got to do to research a stock? And unless you got an account with $2 million in it, nobody's going to touch it. You're not going to get any services. It used to be $1 million. Now $2 million, they don't even look at you. So if this market went back the way it used to be, where you had to depend on earnings and margins and profits and free cash flow, you got to go back and you got to start studying, okay, you got to look at all the different financial statements. How's my company doing with all the other companies in the same sector? You got to compare them. The work is incredible. But the beautiful thing about this market, we know one thing, that the financial engineering is set in place to move the market one place, up. How many times you hear day in and day out from the fake Business News Network? Today, this is our 4th all-time new high. You know what that means? That's the 4th all-time screwing that Main Street got. Because they're in trouble. They're in deep trouble. The S&P is trading at double what it should be. And that's why they had to print more money, and they had to give consumer credit, expand it from 28 billion to 30, keep you going. So look, join the gang for 10 days, and you'll see. It not only is it you'll make money, but it's fun. But at the end of 10 days, you can make that decision if you want to continue or not. Just take a look at one stock here. We got here's where's that? Find it. Oh, here it is. Listen to what Kramer says about this stock.
How do you feel about Moderna, your all-time high?
Okay, here's the issue with Moderna. You gotta buy calls, not common stock, because the thing is just trading like a banshee. So I'm okay with Moderna.
Moderna. Take a look at it. Take a look at it. My color-coded chart. This thing was green from $220, and then it started up to about 380. 380. So that's a 72% gain if you're with us. And then it turned yellow. It turned yellow at $377. So my members know when it turns yellow, that is a call to action. Reduce your shares because money is coming out. The institutions are taking the money out. And guess what happened? It went from that, when we got that alert, it turned to yellow. It was at 377.11. She continued to go up to 480, and then she dropped from 480 down to a low today of 349. And he's telling you to buy this stock. You don't have to know anything about this company. Don't even have to know what it does. It turned yellow. It told you what it was going to do. I mean, you can't have it any better than that. So right now, it's telling you, if you're in this stock right now, you better unload a lot of your shares. Make sure you put a stop in. And see what happens in the next couple of days while this is yellow. You should have more than a couple shares on this thing. But he doesn't tell you that. That's not his job to tell you that. Remember what their job is, especially the Fake Business Network overall. Their job is to get you excited, get your confidence going. Just like QE. QE is a confidence game. And the S&P has turned into a confidence game. Because the one thing they do, they make it just keep going up. But that's great. Follow it up. As long as you know when to get out. And that's what we're there for. You will get out in time and make money on the way back down. Check us out for 10 days. It's free. You'll see what a big difference you'll see it. It helps St. Jude when you do decide to make some money. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.